Any more objections? None heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Hole shot Finch 3.17. Finch 35.32, 1 lap in 35.32. Bruce 39.47, 1 lap in 39.47. STG 53.56, 1 lap in 53.56. 60 seconds remaining. Finch 40.22, laps in 75.52. Bruce 39.422, laps in 78.89. 30 seconds remaining. STG 37.172, laps in 90.73. Ten seconds remaining. Finch 39.3. Finish your lap and then land. Bruce finished 3 laps in 139.78. Please land.
All right, track is still live.
STG finished
job,
3
pilots.
laps in 100 and race over. Next up, round 2 time trial 2, with Grant on R1, Esophagus on R2, Buddha on R6.
All right, we have Grant, Esophagus, and Buddha to the line, please. Grant, Esophagus, and Buddha. Grant, the battery you have plugged in looks like it's pretty low. If you have a different one, you should bring it. Perfect. All right, good job getting ready quickly, guys. Looks like the pilots are just about fully situated. Any objections? None heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Hole shot Esophagus 2.35. Esophagus 24.131 lap in 24.13. Buddha 32.561 lap in 32.56. Esophagus 23.262 laps in 47.4. "60 seconds remaining. Buddha 25.752 laps in 58.31. Esophagus 23.453 laps in 70.85. "30 seconds remaining. Buddha 29.793 laps in 88.1. "10 seconds remaining. Buddha finished 3 laps in 80.38.
Good job, guys.
Please land. Finish your lap and then land. Esophagus finished 3 laps in 9. Race over. Next up, round 2 time trial 3, with B-Rat on R1, Lucid on R6, Cruise on R8.
Brad, to the blocks, please. Brad.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot lucid 2.96. Lucid 28.991 lap in 28.99. Lucid 22.832 laps in 51.82. 60 seconds remaining. Lucid 19.53 laps in 71.32. Seconds remaining. Lucid 20.223 laps in 62.55. Seconds remaining. Lucid 18.583 laps in 58.3. Finish your lap and then land. Race over.
Alright guys, we've got a drone that is MIA. We're going to take a quick break and look for that. If you want to grab a drink or something, use the bathroom, now is the time. All right, guys, here are our results after qualifying round number 3. So far, we have Lucid in first place with a hot lap of 18:58, 2 laps in 38:80. Cruise in second at 41:92. Brad in third at 45:22. Esophagus 46:72. Buddha 54:64. Finch 68:28. Bruce 78:89. STG 97.3, Grant following STG, time unknown. I'm going to just test the timer. Just ignore this, guys.
Next up round 3 time trial 2, with Grant on R1, esophagus on R2, Buddha on R6. Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot cruise 7.58. Race over.
All right, we're short one pilot. We're going to go to race number 2. So that'll be Grant, Esophagus, and Buddha to the blocks. We're going to go race 2. Esophagus, Grant, and Buddha to the blocks, please. So Bruce, Finch, and Keegan, you'll run as soon as Keegan gets back.
Next up, round 3 time trial 1, with Bruce on R1, STG on R2, Finch on R8.
Ignore that.
Next up, round 3 time trial 2, with Grant on R1, Esophagus on R2, Buddha
Grant,
on R6.
can you come to the blocks, please? Grant, Esophagus, and Buddha. All right, we have all pilots on the blocks. I see goggles down. Any objections? None heard on the
Arm
tone.
your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Grant 2.88. Grant 28.84, 1 lap in 28.84. Esophagus 24.52, 1 lap in 24.52. Grant 26.932 laps in 55.77. 60 seconds remaining. Esophagus 38.442 laps in 62.96. Grant 29.183 laps in 84.94. 30 seconds remaining. Esophagus 23.473 laps in 86.44. Ten seconds remaining. Grant 28.593 laps in 84. Esophagus finished 3 laps
Good job,
in 84.16.
guys. Track is still live.
Please
Grant,
land.
finish the lap you're on. Good run. So we're going to have Group 1 come up next. That'll be Bruce, STG, and Finch. You will be up now. Please have your quads ready and to the blocks. Track is still live.
Grant finished 3 laps in 87.04. Please land. Race over. Next up round 3 time trial 1, with Bruce on R1, STG on R2, Finch on R8.
All right, I see all pilots look pretty ready. Any objections? No objections heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Finch 3.33.
Esophagus, are you still plugged in? All right, bring it in. We're going to restart.
Race over.
All right, everybody, we're going to redo that lap. Go ahead and bring it in and plug in a new battery. All right, sit down, guys. You ready? You're good. All right, guys. Do I have any objections? None heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Finch 3.47. Finch 30.861 lap in 30.86. STG 40.791 lap in 40.79. "60 seconds remaining. Finch 29.252 laps in 60.11. Bruce 81.961 lap in 81.96. 30 seconds remaining. Finch 30.83 laps in 90.91. STG 49.152 laps in 89.94. "10 seconds remaining. Bruce finished 2 laps in 115.56, Please land. Finish your lap and then land.
Alright, good flying, guys.
Finished 3 laps in 95.07.
Finish your lap. Track is still live.
Please land.
Coming to the blocks next, we're going to have Brad, Lucid, and Cruz. We'll wait for these guys to finish their round, and then Brad, Lucid, and Cruz to the blocks.
STG finished 3 laps in 140.65. Please land. Race over. Next up, round 3 time trial 3, with B-Rad on R1, Lucid on R6, Cruz on R8. Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Lucid 1.94. Race over.
We'll restart and get that gate up, guys.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Lucid 1.97. B-Rad 23.561 lap in 23.56. Lucid 24.342 laps in 48.14. BRAD 25.022 laps in 48.59. 60 seconds remaining. BRAD 19.893 laps in 68.48. Lucid 25.263 laps in 73.4. 30 seconds remaining. Lucid 26.013 laps in 75.61. Cruise 85.761 lap in 85.76. BRAD 40.223 laps in 85.14. Finish your lap and then land. BRAD finished 3 laps in 82.53, please land. Race over. Next up, round 4 time trial 1, with Bruce on R1, STG on R2, Finch on R8.
All right. To the blocks, we have Finch, Bruce, and STG. Up now, Finch, Bruce, and STG to the blocks. Finch to the blocks, Finch to the blocks. Go ahead and plug in and put your goggles down. All right, I see all pilots. Goggles down. Any objections? None heard on the
Arm
tone.
your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Hole shot Finch 2.95. Finch 30.281 lap in 30.28. Bruce 37.651 lap in 37.65. "60 seconds remaining. STG 62.991 lap in 62.99. Bruce 37.942 laps in 75.59. Finch 56.032 laps in 86.31. 30 seconds remaining. STG 40.122 laps in 103.11. 10 seconds remaining. Finish your lap and then land. Finch finished 3 laps in 124.03. Please land. Bruce finished 3 laps in 136.04. Please land. STG finished 3 laps in 151. Race over. Next up, round 4 time trial 2, with Grant on R1, Esophagus on R2, Buddha on R6.
All right, I see Goggles getting situated. Any objections? None heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Hole shot Grant 2.5. Esophagus 22.58, 1 lap in 22.58. Grant 27.11, lap in 27.1. Grant 23.812, laps in 50.91. 60 seconds remaining. Esophagus 51.212, laps in 73.79. Grant 24.53, laps in 75.42. 30 seconds remaining. Esophagus 24.363, laps in 98.16. 10 seconds remaining. Grant 33.973, laps in 82.29. Finish your lap and then land.
All right, track is still live. Esophagus and Grant are 4th and 5th place qualifiers. Good job, guys.
Esophagus finished 3 laps in 113.43. Please land. Grant finished 3 laps in 92.85. Race over.
He's 4th, you're 5th. But you're right there. All right, we have up next Brad, Cruz, and Lucid. I have to switch to R2, so it'll be just one moment.
Next up, round 4 time trial 3, with B-Rad on R1, Cruz on R2, Lucid on R6.
All right, all pilots are seated. Any objections? None heard on the...
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot BRAD 2.19. Cruise 20.67, 1 lap in 20.67. BRAD 21.08, 1 lap in 21.08. Lucid 31.5, 1 lap in 31.5. BRAD 25.622, laps in 46.7. Lucid 23.632, laps in 55.14. 60 seconds remaining. BRAD 19.123, laps in 65.82. Lucid 31.383, laps in 86.52. 30 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. BRAD 20.663, laps in 61.51. Finish your lap and then land. BRAD finished 3 laps in 62.4. Please land. Lucid finished 3 laps in 76.74. Please land. Race over.
I need a second to adjust the times on that.
Cruise finished 3 laps in 57.39. Please land. Cruise finished 3 laps in 57.39. Please land. Cruise finished 3 laps in 86.43, please land. Cruise finished 3 laps in 65.77, please land. Next up round 5 time trial 1, with Bruce on R1, STG on R2, Finch on R8.
All right, guys. We got it all figured out now. Group 1, Finch, Bruce, and STG. Please come to the blocks. Finch, Bruce, and STG. All right, if you are in Group 2, please be ready. Next, Group 1, Finch, Bruce, and STG. All right, guys, this is trial or qualifier number 5. All right, I see all pilots look ready. Any objections? None heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Finch 2.75. STG 46.671 lap in 46.67. Finch 50.541 lap in 50.54. 60 seconds remaining. Bruce 62.861 lap in 62.86. "30 seconds remaining. STG 46.272 laps in 92.93. "10 seconds remaining. Bruce 50.182 laps. Finish your lap.
All right,
and then
good
land.
flying, guys. Finish your laps and bring it in. Track is still live, but
Finch
up next we have Esophagus and Grant.
Please land.
Esophagus and Grant, you will be coming up next.
STG finished 3 laps in 142.97. Please land. Bruce finished 3 laps
Bruce.
in 160.1. Please land.
All right, Finch is coming in on his final lap. Good job.
Race over.
Hey, Esophagus, give me 1 second if you would. Grant, to the blocks, please.
Next up, round 5 time trial 2, with Grant on R1, Esophagus on R2, Buddha on R6.
All right. Grant and Esophagus to the blocks. Grant and Esophagus. Looks like pilots are getting settled. Do I have any objections? Grant, looks like you're... Grant, are you good to go? All right. On the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot esophagus 2.58. Grant 25.931 lap in 25.93. Esophagus 30.251 lap in 30.25. Grant 22.212 laps in 48.14. Esophagus 21.822 laps in 52.07. 60 seconds remaining. Esophagus 21.783 laps in 73.85. 30 seconds remaining. Grant 39.113 laps in 87.25. Ten seconds remaining. Esophagus 37.383 laps in 80.98. Grant 26. Finish your lap and then land.
Great flying, guys. Finish your final lap, and then up next we're going to have Brad, Lucid, and Cruz.
Esophagus finished 3 laps in 81.47. Please
Good
land.
flying, great flying.
Grant finished 3 laps in 89.22. Please land. Race over. Next up, round 5 time trial 3, with Brad on R1, Cruz on R2, Lucid on R6.
All right, Cruz, Lucid, and Brad. To the blocks, please. Cruz, Lucid, and Brad.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot BRAD 2.59. BRAD 19.011 lap in 19.01. Lucid 33.171 lap in 33.17. Cruise 44.521 lap in 44.52. BRAD 33.532 laps in 52.54. 60 seconds remaining. Lucid 26.512 laps in 59.68. Cruise 19.312 laps in 63.83. BRAD 20.393 laps in 72.93. Lucid 24.043 laps in 83.72. 30 seconds remaining. BRAD 18.363 laps in 72.28. Lucid 22.233 laps in 72.78. 10 seconds remaining. BRAD finished 3 laps in 65.52. Please land. Finish your lap and then land. Race over.
All right, guys, that was the end of qualifying round number 6. Here's where we're at in terms of placement so far in times. We have Cruise in first at 36.73, followed by Brad at 38.75. Lucid just a hair behind, 38.80. Esophagus 43.60. Grant 48.14. Buddha 54.64. Finch 60.05. Bruce 75.59. And Keegan at 88.34. Good job, guys. We're going to have one more qualifying round. This will be our last qualifying round. Following this, we're going to go into mains. We're going to have 3 mains. It'll be CBA. The top 2 will advance in each round. We'll have to talk about if we're going to do 2 or 3 laps. But we're going to start our last round of qualifying. So Group 1, if you'll come to the blocks. Group 1, we have Bruce, STG, and Finch to the blocks.
Next up round 6 time trial 1, with Bruce on R1, STG on R2, Finch on R8.
All right, we have all pilots seated and getting ready. We got spectators. You guys ready to see a race? All right, on the tone in less than 2.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot Finch 3.05. Finch 28.931 lap in 28.93. Bruce 36.561 lap in 36.56. Finch 27.532 laps in 56.46. STG 75.31 lap in 75.3. "30 seconds remaining. Bruce 49.842 laps in 86.4. "10 seconds remaining. Finch 53.843 laps in 110.3. STG 36. Finish your lap and then land. Bruce finished 3 laps in 131.09, please land. STG finished 3 laps in 149.19, please land.
Alright, it looks like all pilots are down. Track is dead.
Race over. Next up, round 6 time trial 2, with Grant on R1, Esophagus on R2, Buddha on R6.
Grant to the blocks. Grant to the blocks. right, I have pilot seated. Any objections? On the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Whole shot esophagus 2.26. Esophagus 22.071 lap in 22.07. Esophagus 25.622 laps in 47.69. Grant 30.652 laps in 52.79. 60 seconds remaining. Esophagus 22.623
Can anybody help
laps
out
in
Grant? He's under the
70.31.
plane.
"30 seconds remaining. Esophagus 21.673 laps in 69.91. "10 seconds remaining. Esophagus 21.993 laps in 60. Finish your lap and then land. Esophagus finished 3 laps in 64.58. Please land.
All right, track is dead.
Race over. Next up, round 6 time trial 3, with B-Rad on R1, Cruise on R2, Lucid on R6.
All right, guys, this is our last qualifying lap or round. We're going to seed A mains after this, so we're going to finish this race or this qualifier, and then we'll take a short break to seed mains, and we'll go from there. Lucid, Cruz, and Brad up now. Any objections? None heard on the tone.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 2. Pole shot BRAD 2.08. BRAD 17.81 lap in 17.8.
All right, bring it in. We're going to restart that round.
Race over.